Hello guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about more new features and some secret features that have been revealed and are coming to your device with iOS 26.1. iOS 26.1 is coming out very soon to the public as the first big update to iOS 26 and is shaping up to be an amazing update with a lot of new features, changes, and really important improvements. Before I get into all that, I just want to ask you guys for a really quick favor. Most of you who watch my videos are still not subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy the content and want to see more, hit that subscribe button as it really helps out a lot. First of all, we're starting with some new features and changes that we have been able to discover on the latest beta of iOS 26.1, like the one here for the clock. Just take a look at the animation on the clock with the seconds. It basically moves at 20 frames per second, which is really smooth. Once you invoke low power mode, you will notice how the seconds move on the clock differently. Previously, when you enabled low power mode, it would completely remove the seconds, but now it doesn't remove them, it just changes the animation so the seconds tick just like a normal clock would. It would actually be cool if you could use this animation without low power mode, but it looks really awesome that you get the seconds even with low power mode enabled. There are a lot of other changes with the menus on iOS 26. Basically, every menu now has a really smooth animation, and on the control center you will have that bounce, which is really awesome. Overall, all the animations, especially for the different pop-up menus, have actually been adjusted with iOS 26.1, particularly with the last third beta, and even the animations for the calculator have been improved. You will get slightly different animations for the icons based on their position on the home screen or the dock, and the same applies to the lock screen when you unlock to go to your home screen. There's also a fix for the alarm and timer, where you now get a slide to stop screen, and that slider has been fixed to work properly with the timer, and they are actually even brighter now with the orange color and reflection on the liquid glass slider stop button being adjusted and much wider. One change that is not really a good one is that Apple has removed backgrounds for SMS and RCS messages, only allowing iMessage to have backgrounds. And if you have a background with those conversations, it will be removed once you update to the third beta, and you won't be able to set a new background for those conversations. With iOS 26, you know we have the stock wallpaper, but now with the third beta of iOS 26.1, there is reference in the code for 3 new wallpapers, likely one for iPhone, one for Apple Watch, and one for iPad. Finally, it looks like Apple is bringing third-party AI integration to iOS 26, as the code has changed from reporting a concern related to ChatGPT to reporting a concern related to a third party, indicating that Apple is getting very close to allowing additional third-party AI integration. This is something a lot of users have been asking for, and if it's ready, it will most likely be released with the final release of iOS 26.1, or if not, it will be pushed to iOS 26.2. But we're getting closer to having third-party AI integration with Apple Intelligence on your iOS 26 device. So what's next for iOS 26.1? According to history, iOS 26.1 shouldn't have more than 4 betas, and we're currently on the third beta, with 2 different scenarios possible. Maybe we'll get the RC this Monday, and then the next week, which will be October 27th, Apple will release iOS 26.1 to the public, but there is also a chance we will get a 4th beta this Monday. Then the RC on the 27th, followed by the public release on November 3rd. As you probably know, iOS 26.02 has been spotted and is being tested by Apple, so it should be released very soon. And if it happens, you could expect iOS 26.01 RC to be released on the Monday, but if not, then Apple will most likely release iOS 26.02 this upcoming week. That leads us to believe we will have another beta of iOS 26.1, because if they release 26.2 next week, it wouldn't make sense to have iOS 26.1 released to the public just 5 or 6 days later. Most likely we'll get iOS 26.02 next week alongside the 4th beta of iOS 26.01, followed by the RC on the 27th or 28th of October, and the public release date will most likely be November 3rd. So that's basically it for this video. iOS 26.1 is shaping up to be a great update. Performance is really good and fast. Animations have been adjusted and are very smooth, most of them looking like the animations Apple presented at WWDC 2025. Battery life is okay, I would say maybe 2 to 3% better than iOS 26, and overall the update is in great shape and probably ready for the public release.